What's up, PSGINT family? It's your boy PSGINT here, and today I will be discussing and comparing the four managers: Laurent Blanc, Thomas Tuchel, Unai Emery, and as of right now, Paris Saint-Germain's manager Christophe Galtier. I will be looking at their start because I cannot rate what they did later on. I can only rate the beginning, which is the first 20 games, which Galtier has been the manager for Paris Saint-Germain. So the first manager for Paris Saint-Germain is Laurent Blanc. His first season, he came in after Ancelotti left for Real Madrid, and he came from the France national team. And what I can say about Laurent Blanc, he's a very conservative manager. He just plays simple football. He just does the simple stuff, and a manager like this gets you to the quarterfinals every season, and that's what we were doing under Laurent Blanc. We were consistent, but he didn't have that edge, that over-the-top performance, that managerial tactical thingy that we needed here at Paris Saint-Germain. But I think he's the manager that is most liked, like the period under him is most liked by Paris Saint-Germain fans, because we just kept on improving, but then we came to a place where we couldn't improve more under Laurent Blanc. After him came Unai Emery. After his success with Sevilla in the Europa League, Paris Saint-Germain got him. And we're thinking, alright, listen, this guy has done a lot in Europe, even though it's the Europa League, but he has that European and cup competition success. Let's bring him to Paris Saint-Germain and let's see what he can do. And his stint at Paris Saint-Germain, he was very fluid. Our team was very fluid under him, scoring a lot of goals. But sadly, in both Champions League seasons under him, where he was so-called the cup manager, it did not go well, and we even lost the league in his first season. Taking a look later on, after him came Thomas Tuchel after 1 year without a job. Even though he was really good at Dortmund, where he just fell off with their sporting director, he came to Paris Saint-Germain with new ideas, new bright ideas. He was a young manager. I loved Tuchel before he came. I loved Tuchel when he came. Just he evolved the club so much, of course, taking us to our first Champions League final, which we can't forget. And he's a manager that will be in the folklore here at Paris Saint-Germain. But he came in with a new ideas, and I think we were the strongest under Thomas Tuchel. We had a real idea of how we wanted to play, because he was a tactician. And then we have Christophe Galtier, who came in after his leveling up in Ligue 1, going from Saint-Etienne to Lille, beating us to the league title, then going to Nice, and now coming to Paris Saint-Germain. And his start off at Paris Saint-Germain, we have clearly seen this is a world-class manager, because he knows what he wants, he knows what he needs to say, he answers the interviews very well, and he has gotten Paris Saint-Germain to play at a high quality level. Of course, not perfect yet, but there's a lot of improvements to be made. They all started off their Paris Saint-Germain career beautifully, actually. Laurent Blanc won the Trophée du Champion 2-1 versus Bordeaux. Then came Unai Emery 4-1 versus Lyon. Then we have Thomas Tuchel 4-0 over Monaco. And then we had Christophe Galtier this season 4-0 against FC Nantes. So all of them started off their Paris Saint-Germain career brilliantly. Now let's take a look at their stats. So as you can see, league and points after the 20 games. So for 14 games in the league and then 6 in the UEFA Champions League. In the 14 games in Ligue 1, Laurent Blanc had 34 points, Unai Emery 32, Thomas Tuchel 42, and Christophe Galtier 38. Of course, Thomas Tuchel was won pretty much every game, had an exceptional run in Ligue 1. I think it was like an 11 or 12 game streak, which is one of the top 5 records in Ligue 1, but the difference between him and Galtier will come on to later. UEFA Champions League points, Laurent Blanc had 13 after the group stage, Unai Emery 12, Thomas Tuchel 11, and Galtier 14. We can see Galtier comes first there. Goals scored, Laurent Blanc had 46, Unai Emery 41, Thomas Tuchel 60, and Christophe Galtier 54. And goals against, Laurent Blanc had 14, Unai Emery 16, Thomas Tuchel 15, and Galtier 16. But as you can see, bottom right, Galtier was unbeaten. In his first 20 games at Paris Saint-Germain, including that first game in the Trophée du Champion, Galtier is the only manager that has been unbeaten in his first 20 games. And I think it's even a record for a debutant manager at Paris Saint-Germain. just showing how an amazing start he has had to his Paris Saint-Germain tenure. Even though we can clearly look at Thomas Tuchel's stats, I think Galtier and Thomas Tuchel, they stand out from the other two, but we can see Unai Emery was definitely the worst out of these four. Then we'll take a look at formations. As I said, Laurent Blanc, a very conservative manager. The only three formations he used in the beginning of the season was the 4-4-2 and the 4-2-3-1 and the 4-3-3, which he later went out to use for the rest of his tenure at Paris Saint-Germain. Whilst Unai Emery, little bit the same, tried out the 4-1-4-1, 4-3-1-2, 4-2-3-1, but then opted back for the 4-3-3. Whilst Thomas Tuchel tried out a lot of different formations, the 3-5-2, the 3-4-1-2, the 4-4-2, the 4-1-4-1, 4-3-3, and 4-2-3-1. And I looked at all the formations he had used at the rest of that season, and he still had made his mind up. He was switching formation game after game, which is a good thing, you know, being flexible and having a lot of options. But then you don't get that consistency, the players don't get used to it, and I think that was a big reason for why Paris Saint-Germain underachieved a little bit in Thomas Tuchel's first season, unlike the season after. Whilst Christophe Galtier has also experimented, but what he has done more, he has played with the 3-4-3 and then variations of that formation, 3-4-1-2 and 3-4-2-1. That's just variations of the 3-4-3, and then he played recently the 4 at the back, 4-3-3, 4-3-2-1, 4-3-1-2, which is variations of the same formation, which has made it very easy for the Paris Saint-Germain players to play. The only formation that a lot of other previous managers have used, and Galtier not, is the 4-1-4-1, which I don't think we will use at all, and the 4-4-2, and that's mostly because Paris Saint-Germain cannot play with direct wingers if you don't put, for example, Vitinha as a left midfielder and Renato Sanchez as a right midfielder, which is a much more conservative and defensive formation. But from these pictures and slides right here, we can clearly see that Laurent Blanc and Unai Emery, they tried something, but then they opted for the 4-3-3, which is the standard formation here at Paris Saint-Germain. Whilst Christophe Galtier and Thomas Tuchel, the two geniuses, they came in with different ideas, tried out a lot of stuff. Thomas Tuchel, I would say, tried out too much, whilst Galtier has tried out. He wants to have options, but I think him, the staff, the sporting director, and the players, they are comfortable in the two formations we're playing, which is 4-3-3 and 3-4-3 with variations. And here is the ranking of them in their first 20 games. We can see Unai Emery, first in the Champions League and second in Ligue 1 at that time. First in Champions League and first in Ligue 1 for Laurent Blanc. First in Champions League and first in Ligue 1 for Thomas Tuchel. Second in Champions League and first in Ligue 1 for Christophe Galtier. We can see the goal difference. Galtier 38, Thomas Tuchel 45, plus Laurent Blanc 32 and Unai Emery 25. And then points combined in Ligue 1 in the Champions League in the first 20 games. Galtier had 52, Thomas Tuchel 53, Laurent Blanc 47, and Unai Emery 44. And my ranking is Unai Emery comes 4th, then Laurent Blanc 3rd, Thomas Tuchel 2nd, and Christophe Galtier 1st. It was a tough debate between Thomas Tuchel and Galtier, and there can be excuses for every part. Like, some people can say, oh, Galtier had a much better squad, or this manager had a better squad. Yeah, but Blanc, for example, he came in at a much more stable time at the club. Unai Emery, same thing. Thomas Tuchel, not as much, but Galtier came in a very unstable time. And we also have to know that Ligue 1 has improved a lot since then, since the time Laurent Blanc was the manager of Paris Saint-Germain. And as you can see, besides Galtier, the king throne, unbeaten. He's the only manager that has gone unbeaten. So comparing these four managers in their first 20 games, Galtier comes first, Thomas Tuchel second, Laurent Blanc third, and Unai Emery 4th. Make sure to let me down in the comments down below, who did you think had the best start? Rank them in the comments down below. If you enjoyed this video, you might as well smash that like button, subscribe if you haven't subscribed to the PSGINT YouTube channel, and as usual, allez Paris!